Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about comparing ourselves to other people, why it's making us miserable, and what we can do about it. Before we start to talk about why comparison is making you miserable, I think we need to establish the fact that comparison is not a bad thing. Comparison is something that we as humans do naturally. We do it instinctively as a survival mechanism. No matter how confident you are, no matter how successful you are, no matter how fantastic you think you are, comparison is inevitable and we will ultimately end up comparing ourselves to somebody out there. When I was younger, I compared myself to people in my community. Like, for example, somebody I went to school with, maybe a cousin, maybe a friend. But ultimately, the circle of people that I was able to compare myself to was really small. Nowadays, comparison has become so toxic because not only do we compare ourselves to the people within our communities, but we actually compare ourselves to everybody in the world. And of course, this is thanks to social media. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm vilifying social media because I think social media is a tool and it's up to us to use it to our advantage. When you're on social media, you are definitely going to compare yourself to people on social media. You will always see other people and think to yourself, wow, this person is better looking. This person is more talented. This person is in a happy relationship and I'm not. This person has a lot of views on their YouTube videos and I don't. This person is traveling to all the countries that I want to visit. And the funny thing about comparison is that we don't just do it looking up to the people who are better than us. We also do it with the people who are worse than us. And I use this because everything on social media is a facade. I don't believe any of it. But that's a topic that I covered in another video, which you can watch right here. With comparison, we kind of tend to do it with people who are not doing as well as we are. And it makes us feel good that, oh yeah, I have more views than this person. I am more successful than that person. I travel more than that person. And honestly, both comparing yourself up and down are just wrong. It's strange because we tend to compare ourselves to all kinds of people without having even some constraints on who we should compare ourselves to. For example, if you're a YouTuber and you just started out, you should not be comparing yourself to somebody who's been on YouTube for many years, who have perfected their craft and who have like 100,000 followers. You have just begun, you're at the beginning of your journey, and for you to compare yourself to someone who is much more established, comparing yourself when you're at the beginning of your journey to somebody who's been way into their journey for a while now is just, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think we should be comparing ourselves to anybody. That is the fastest way for you to stop whatever progress you're making, the fastest way to make you feel bad about yourself, to generate fear and anxiety, jealousy, envy within you. That is not a healthy way to live. You should not be comparing yourself to anybody, period, because every comparison that you're going to make is going to be an unfair one. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's story is different. We all have our different strengths, our weaknesses, our privileges, our experiences, and they all shape us somehow into becoming the person that we are today. Some people can work hard all of their lives and they will never reach the amount of success of somebody else because their opportunities were different, their locations are different, the amount of money that they each had at the beginning of their journey was different. You honestly should not be comparing yourself to anybody because that, in my opinion, is a losing battle. And I think there's a difference between comparison and actually looking at someone's success and being inspired by it, because you're not really comparing them to yourself. You're looking at them with admiration and thinking that, yes, this is something that I aspire to, this is something that I want to create for myself. And it gives you that boost of motivation and encouragement that everybody needs. And I think we all fall into this trap, which is when we see other people who are successful, we always assume that just because they're successful, we can't be successful either. Someone else's success doesn't take away from your success. And success is not an 8-slice pizza. There's not a finite number of success pieces that we all share. I believe that there is an abundance of success out there. And when I see somebody who is successful, I feel so compelled to celebrate that success with them, because when I do that, I attract success to myself. And I don't know about you, but I believe in the law of attraction, and I've actually manifested so many things for myself in my life because I believe in the law of attraction, and success is definitely one of those things that you can attract. Although I said you should not be comparing yourself to anybody, I kind of changed my mind in the last few minutes. I think there is somebody that you need to compare yourself to. Are you ready? The person that you should compare yourself to is yourself. To be more accurate, an older version of yourself. And the reason I think you should compare yourself to an older version of you is because that is the only way that you will be able to measure your own growth. And as long as your growth is in the right direction and you're making progress in the areas that mean a lot to you, I think you're a winner. I think you're on the right track. We've heard it being said again and again, comparison is the thief of joy. But it kind of doesn't have to be. Instead of letting comparison enslave us and making us feel terrible about ourselves, why can't we use it as a tool for inspiration, to strive to do something great, to strive to be something great? I think if you are in a situation where you're comparing yourself to other people and you just know for a fact that there's no way you could kind of become as great as they are or have the kind of life that they have, I think that is the point where you kind of need to surrender to the moment, surrender to the fact that you don't actually have control over this. I think acceptance is really powerful when you know you've done everything you can, but things are not getting better, or you are not able to achieve the things that mean a lot to you. I think when you accept things, you stop becoming at resistance with life. And the more you're in resistance with life, the more you're going to suffer. I'll give you an example. One of the things that really bothered me when I was younger was, why was I born here? Why was I born in this part of the world? Why couldn't I have been born in a first world country? And for the longest time, I kind of didn't like who I was. And I was comparing myself to, people with more privilege, more opportunities. And that was unfair to me and to them because they didn't choose to be born in a first world country. They just happened to be born there, and they had all these privileges and opportunities. And I think going through what I've been through in my life, I'm so glad that they don't have to go through what I've been through. At the same time, there are people who have gone through much worse things than I have. And I am extremely grateful for my journey because somehow I ended up being me. And, living in that state of mind where you look at the things in your life that you don't like, that you for sure cannot change, that is no way to live. I think if you accept the things that you cannot change and just try to change your future, try to change the way forward, you don't have to keep going in the same direction as your entire life. You actually, if you're privileged enough, you have the choice to change your situation. And I think this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. And this video ended up being a lot deeper than I wanted it to be. But just a disclaimer, this video should apply to most people. But if you can't relate to what I'm saying, that's perfectly okay. And there's nothing wrong with you. Just thought I'd put that out there. I uploaded a video a few weeks ago about the practice of reflection, which you can watch here. In that video, I talk about how I set certain goals for myself at the beginning of the year and how halfway through the year, I kind of reflected on which goals I accomplished, why I accomplished them, which goals I did not accomplish, and why I did not accomplish them. At the end of the year, when I look back on the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, and I kind of compare me to my older self, that is when I get to really use comparison as a tool. And it should only be used when comparing yourself to yourself. Comparing yourself to anybody else is a big no-no for me. And that is a lesson that I learned the hard way. If you're still watching at this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this video useful. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content from me in the future. Next week's video is going to be my first monthly vlog on this channel, and I'm really excited about it because it's going to be the first time that I upload a video of that kind. I'm so excited to see how it's going to turn out, and I hope you guys are going to watch it when it comes out next Tuesday. All right, I'm signing off.